News concerning Hearts, the club's largest creditor, the Lithuanian banking group Ukko Bankas, has agreed to transfer its shares to the club. Now, we can speak now to Hearts administrator, and Hearts fans will be hanging on this fella's every word. Brian Jackson joins us on Sky Sports News. Brian, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jim.
Thanks so much for joining us. Tell us what has happened and what does it mean for the future of the club?
Well, it's another big obstacle that's out of the way. Ukko Bankas Creditors Committee have voted in favour of the transfer of the shares, which we have been trying to get our hands on for quite a number of months now. So it's fairly significant in terms of it was one of our big obstacles. And, of course, if the vote had gone the other way, then we don't really want to think about that. That would have been the worst possible scenario. So from that point of view, a very positive day.
So this is the news, Brian, you've been waiting for, and it's positive news.
It is positive news, Jim. I mean, there's been a number of obstacles along the way, and it's just another of those obstacles that we had to get over. It was certainly one of the bigger ones, if not biggest. So it's a great relief that we've got over this one, and we've still got a couple of things to go, but we're getting there. We're certainly in the right direction.
Are you virtually standing by, Brian? I know you're in your Glasgow office right now. Are you standing by to fly to Lithuania to get this over the line?
Well, that may come next week. What we're left with, Jim, that we need to achieve is a sale and purchase agreement. There's substantial negotiations going on, as you'd imagine, back and forward with that. We also have a cooling off period. One of the other obstacles that we've been faced with was the vote by UBIG creditors who held 50% of the shares. And although we got a positive vote on that a couple of weeks ago, we have a 20-day cooling off period. So that's running as well. So we're not quite there yet, but certainly we are knocking off these obstacles one by one, so we're heading in the right direction. And yes, hopefully that I will be going over at some point to try and get this finally over the line around about the end of the month.
That's good news, Brian. I mean, this is a proud club, as you know, that we're talking about. And a lot of fans, Brian, had been fearing the worst. Was the worst on the horizon and getting closer? And I'm talking about liquidation.
Yes, Jim, unfortunately, I've been feeling the worst the whole way through this process. If we'd failed any obstacles, for example, the CVA, if that had failed early on in November, that would have been liquidation. There would be nowhere else to go. If we had failed with any of the creditors, either of UBIG or Ukko, that would have also been liquidation because, again, there would have been absolutely nowhere else to go. And there still is a possibility, unfortunately, because there's a sale and purchase agreement that has to be concluded and there's a cooling off period with creditors. So, we hate the L word, but it's been there all the time and there's been countless sleepless nights because of it. So I totally appreciate what Hearts fans have been going through. But as I say, I'm going to try and concentrate on the positives of today because it is another major obstacle scored off the list.
Absolutely. Just finally, Brian, I know you're steeped in this. And just to reaffirm to fans watching this at the moment, the club's largest creditor, the banking group Ukko Bankas, has agreed to transfer its shares to the club. Will this be the saving of Heart of Midlothian Football Club, Brian?
Well, I certainly hope so, Jim. As I say, it's a major step in it. We'll never be there till we're over the line. There's been a lot of problems with this one because these shares have been held in a different country with, I've said it before, different jurisdiction, in different processes, which has made the thing very difficult for all of us. So I won't count it till it's over the line, but certainly, yes, today has been definitely a major step in the potential saving of the club.
Brian Turritt, that's great news, and well done for the work you're doing. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Cheers.